Hey, welcome to Full 42. I like how we both kind of struck a pose for the split second that we know shows right before the intro. We
Yeah,
are
get ready to be live for a half a second because of the new format, the way they do it. So immediately,
yeah. It's
froze.
really weird because I used to have to hit the video thing and there'd be a countdown, and then I hit live and hope that the thing goes live before the countdown was over. At least I don't have to do that. Now I hit a button and it plays our video just a split second after we're sitting here looking dumbfounded. So
It's way more user friendly. Even the end stream is just click and
Yeah.
you're done. You don't have to click end stream, play a thing, click end, like none of that stuff. It's
Yep.
I like the adjustments. It's good.
So this is Full 42. We're a bunch of geeks talking about geek stuff today. We're talking about top 5 board games that I'm pulling this out of my head now that
It says it on the top of the screen. It literally says it at the top of the screen.
Oh, right. Right. Top 5 games we want to learn next. Yes. Hey, I'm recovering from being sick for 10 days.
Yes, that's true. So am I.
Yeah, I wasn't here last week. Thank you, Andrew, for standing in. I went to LA and got myself sick.
There's no viruses in Texas. You had to go to California to get it.
Yeah, or at least the Texas airport had it. Yeah, I don't know.
Shoot.
But yeah, if my voice sounds a little off, it's because I'm recovering still.
They had to deal with me for 2 weeks, so
yeah. But yeah, I'm back from LA. I never saw fires or anything. I mean, obviously they were there, but where I was in Burbank, I never got close to it, so that's good. Could smell it in the air, which was crazy. And a lot of people I know had scary things going on. But
yeah, it affected a lot of people. That's for sure.
Hey, may not be. Oh, yeah. Today is a lot of things, right? So a lot of people and stuff. So we'll see who shows up and all. But happy Martin Luther King Day.
Yeah.
Happy Monday. Happy Monday.
Happy 42 Day. Happy 100th Luca painting day.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of cool.
We're coming up on our 200th episode. We'll do, I guess, a little bit of the announcement stuff, but we're coming up on our 200th episode. And while Chris and I were talking earlier, found out that today is the 100th Luca painting that has been on the show. So in 2 years, because I started this last year at the beginning of season 3, there have been 100. And there are a couple episodes that, like, I showed 3 of his because he did a couple in a row or something. But this is the 100th. Today will be the 100th episode, 100th painting, Luca painting.
Yeah, this is our 197th episode. Is that right?
Yep. 197.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't know if I've done 100 paintings in my life, and I have a degree in studio art.
Well, you paint. I'm sure you've painted 100 times. I mean, I see.
Actual canvas and paint, though, right?
Yeah, no, doesn't work.
Because my dad was an oil painter, so I grew up painting stuff like that too. But
that's a great idea, Sam.
Oh, you can't pick 5.
Yeah, it'd be really tough. That'd be really tough.
Yeah, it's hard. 100 paintings.
You get to cupcake. I mean, that's a fraction of ones that he's got, and Mika is now doing it, and they're coming along. They're doing well. If you go back to Luca's when he was turning 2, and look at Mika's now, and he's turning 2 next month, like you can see some similarities, but they definitely have a different style. It's fun.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about our top 5 games that we want to play. Basically, I just went and looked at my shelf of shame, opportunity, whatever you call it. And I was like, yes. What?
But first.
Yes. Yeah. The whole like and subscribe, and we got our 500 subscribers, and now whatever.
That's it. Did we get back to 500? I thought we dropped one.
We got 505 now, I think.
Oh, nice. That's fun.
Yeah. So we got a little leeway. We can piss off 4 people.
That's great. That's good. I'm sure we could do it.
Which I might. It's my number 1, because then I could talk a little bit about a rant. Okay.
We could definitely rant about something that would drop a lot of people, I'm sure.
Well, let's not try to drop it.
No. I love everybody. Let's not do that.
Yeah, we could. No, I'm not going to even go that way. So we also have announcements before that. Lots of stuff to announce. Some of it we already kind of blabbed about just now.
Yeah.
And sorry, of course, say hi to everybody. Hey, hi to everybody in the chat.
Oh, what's going on? We're probably not going to see Tim tonight, right? He probably won't stop in.
Is today the day that he supposedly pops up on Jeopardy?
No, today is the day.
I've been waiting.
Yeah, today is the national championship in college football, and they're playing Ohio State. So Tim is out of his mind right now.
Oh, right. Football stuff.
Yeah, college football. It's not. Hey, Di. It's not looking good currently. It's not looking good. So I'm sure Tim is. Maybe he'll pop in during halftime, but I'm sure they're busy.
It's bad enough he can come over here and weep.
Yeah, that's also true. I mean, it's not that. I mean, it's a 2-score game. So we'll see.
They scored
twice.
We
got some stuff to announce. We're coming up on some milestones. It's very weird and awesome at the same time.
Yeah, you told me. I guess we could go into the announcements, but you told me that we are coming up on the end of our 4th season, which is nuts. That means we're going to have more shows or more seasons than Enterprise, like Star Trek Enterprise.
Yeah. I mean, we average what 45 with power outages and ice storms and sicknesses. We get about 45 episodes a year.
I would think we do more than that.
Not if we're averaging 204 years. That's 50 a year.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I guess 50. We don't do one a week. We break for Christmas. Not this year.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, well, either way. And our episodes go way longer than Star Trek episodes do.
That's true.
So if you put in the amount of hours that we streamed versus the amount of hours they have, we probably a bit more.
And on this channel, we also have another show that I do with my brother and sometimes you called Scryfy, where we talk about certain episodes, and sometimes those shows are longer than the episodes we're talking about. So I think that's hilarious.
That's so funny.
But yeah, so I've got my 5 games and stuff, but we should talk about announcements first. I have no announcements.
Fantastic. How was your trip to California?
I do have one thing is that I think not right now, but maybe within an hour or so, we're going to start snowing outside.
Oh no, that means you're going to lose internet. You're done.
Little flurries.
Yeah,
not
you're
snow,
fucked.
but
So we need to wrap this up real quick because you're not going to have power.
Texas is going to freak out and shut down power and run away and hide. Yeah.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah. We did freeze a little bit last night just for like 4 hours. We were at 32, I think. Yeah. Had to turn off water.
Just keep it dripping. You put it on a drip.
That doesn't work down here. We don't bury our pipes.
Your water pipes are above ground?
Some of them, yeah.
Yeah, but if you got flowing water, no, I guess not. But flowing water, you should be okay. Jesus, that's bonkers.
It depends on how cold it is, yeah.
That's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, we don't have basements. We don't have, all that stuff.
Yeah, it makes sense, I guess. How you doing, Alan? Good to see you.
Good.
All right, so you have no announcements. That's fantastic. Did you see a bug this week? A new bug?
I said snow. Snow might be an announcement. I'm back from LA. That's a good announcement. I played 2 awesome games that weren't work related while I was gone. I played another game of Endeavor, Deep Sea.
Nice.
So good that whenever I got home, I played it again.
Nice. Perfect.
Won both games. Although the first one I didn't deserve. And then why'd you shake your head? No.
Why didn't you deserve it?
Have you ever played a game where like you're like, I guess I'll do this. Like you have no game plan, and then like the last round you're like, oh, I should be doing this, and you kind of you get it done, but then you're just like, I feel like I bumbled the whole way. I won by 1 point with that feeling. And it made me just go, I think I just kind of stumbled into that win, honestly, by luck. So
that means the game is bad.
No, game's good.
Did you watch the episode from last week when I talked about innovation?
I did not watch the episode from last week. I jumped in for a couple minutes, but I was in the middle of another dev game, and so I couldn't listen to it because I was just looking at the phone. I thought I could turn on captions, but you can't for live.
That makes sense.
So I just said hi to everybody in chat and left.
Yeah, it was a good. I had a conversation with Andrew about this guy that I met in Wisconsin when I was visiting a friend, and his rant on games and how innovation was the perfect game because you can't luck into a strategy. And halfway through the game, I was fucking housing him, and he totally flipped the script. And that's what's wrong with these kind of games. Like, you can just luck into. Like, you just said this was the perfect game because you can't luck into stuff. And now you're saying it's not because I lucked into it because it was my first. It was really funny.
Yeah. No, I didn't mean that. Like, there were luck elements that saved me. I just meant like I happened to put stuff. I didn't pay attention to the in-game scoring.
Yeah.
Where you're supposed to go and put stuff to get scores, and I just happened to pick those spots. Like,
it just worked out.
Yeah, it just worked out. So. But played again and did really well that time because I was paying attention to what I was doing. But I also played SETI for the first time, and I got destroyed in that game.
How was it?
It was really good. I want to play again. Yeah, but I got beaten by 50 points by Peter and Luke Laurie were Peter Vaughn and Luke Laurie were playing with them. They were like neck and neck, and I was 50 points behind.
That makes sense.
So it's just like, you guys, have fun. I'm going to do whatever I can,
Was it their first time playing as well?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
No excuse.
You had no excuse. Yeah.
No excuse.
Alan, speaking of excuses, where are you in the U.S.?
He's at your fake time 9, right? So
that's real time. That's real time. You're in the fake time.
No. So yeah, somewhere in your fake time.
I actually, Steven, I'm not that I have no interest, but I don't know anything about it other than us talking about the cover in that tournament bracket thing that we had a couple weeks ago with the Rundown folks. That's the only thing I know about that game. Otherwise, I couldn't tell you a mechanism in that game.
I could.
Oh, yeah, because you played it.
Yeah. I mean, it's multi-use cards. Your turn, you play a card to do an action. The main thing that you're actually like going out into space with little probes, going to the different planets and moons in the solar system. And you're trying to meet 2 different aliens, and you don't know what they are every game. They're different every time. And different stuff happens when you discover them, which is kind of cool. So
that's cool.
It's really good. It is heavy. I wouldn't say really heavy. I'd say like Terraforming Mars heavy. Arc Nova heavy.
Arc Nova. That's good. That's good. Yeah. That's like 2.5, 3.
Sure.
Right? Not any heavier than...
It's not like Lacerda heavy.
Yeah. That's good.
It was pretty easy to learn, too. Yeah.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Cool.
I'd recommend it if you like Arc Nova level games. And if you don't, cool. Don't bother with it.
Well, I don't like Terraforming Mars, but I like Arc Nova. So.
Yeah, I just mean that for weight level, not exactly how it plays. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's cool.
Yeah, it's a good game. See? Announcements-ish.
There you go. You played a new game. Good for you.
Yeah.
Oh, in Orlando. Gotcha. That's closer. It makes sense.
See, Orlando shares your time zone. That should be proof enough it's not a real time zone.
More excited. That's good.
Nice.
Well, that's good. Good for you having announcements this week. Congratulations.
Woot. All right. What you got?
So we talked about at the top that this is episode 197, and it's going to be Luca's 100th painting. On February 10th, it'll be our 200th episode, which is wild. And we'll have the Rundown folks on again, the board game Rundown folks. So We have a little bit of a plan. We're still going to kind of work it out, but our 200th episode is crazy to me. Next week, the 27th, starts season 5 or year 5 or whatever you want to call it for us. So this is technically the last episode that wraps up 4 years of doing this with you, which is absolutely bonkers. Like super cool, but unbelievable to think of for 4 like today, like bookends 4 years of doing this show, which
That's
is
insane.
It's lovely. It's gone so. It feels like we just started like last summer. Like it wasn't really. It hasn't felt like 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, it helps that I have forgotten most of it already.
Sure.
Like I saw like earlier in the show, someone said, "Oh, top 5 Luca paintings." I would be like, "Man, I'd have to go to every single beginning of episode and look because I've forgotten everything." Yeah. Sometimes it's fun to go through our old episodes and go, "Oh, I remember that," but until then,
your number 1 will be the one that he made for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, which is back here somewhere where I can't reach. Yeah,
look at that. He's on his 3rd year subscription.
Yeah.
Right. So next week will be the start of year 5, which is amazing. February 3rd, we confirmed today. Make cookies. Absolutely.
Always make cookies.
We confirmed today that February 3rd, we're going to have Scott Rogers on. I'm very much looking forward to that because we've been talking about having him on for a little bit now.
Get ready. He's a talker.
And I can't wait. The topic's going to be our top 5 toys, which is going to be so much fun.
He and I got in a conversation. Well, we were a side conversation, but we were talking about Thor and the comic book Thor versus MCU Thor and stuff like that. Yeah. It just his wealth of knowledge into almost anything geeky is fun to dive into.
It's going to be great. It's going to be more of a fan like listening to him talk than me contributing because his knowledge of even stuff with Batman is amazing. So that's happening on the 3rd. I said February 10th, our 200th episode with the rundown, and then February 7th. I don't know how far to go down, but February 17th.
I should come up with an evil little Batman trivia quiz for him.
Oh yeah, like deep cut kind of stuff. Yeah,
we'll see.
Like how many episodes was Condiment King in? Sam from Around the Stump, he poked in a little bit earlier. We're gonna have him on the 17th because they are launching Button Kingdoms, I believe, the day after. Sam, if you're still listening. Or you're still in? Is it the day after that that Tuesday that Button Kingdoms go live? So we'll have Sam on. And February 19th, I know I'm a little bit ahead, but February 19th, we're going to be on the Board Game Rundown on their Wednesday show. So February, and then Gamma is the end of February. So February is going to be a pretty busy month. And then we have Matt Ryan coming in March. Jeremy Howard's coming back. Scott Alden's coming. Aldi from BG is coming back. Jason Headley's coming on for the first time. So yeah, it's gonna, like, the beginning of year 5 is gonna be pedal down, like we're just hitting it. So it's gonna be fun. Officially? What do you mean officially? Like when does Button Kingdoms launch? We're having you on the 17th. We talked earlier. We're having you on the 17th. Does Button Kingdoms go the next day? Or is it after that? Oh, well, there you go. Broke the news. You should have announced it already. You're a month out. You need to have a runway. So
that's true. Put yourself under that pressure.
Look up Button Kingdoms. Go to the Facebook page and join. But go look up Button Kingdoms and follow because we're going to be talking about that on the 17th. And I believe we're playing it. I think we're playing it on the show that day too. So.
And Sam, if you got the Kickstarter page up, reach out. I could always take a look, give advice if you want. Always happy to look at things and poke at stuff and say,
don't do this, don't do this.
Don't do this, don't do that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot, and there's some stuff that I have planned I mean, we'll see how it all plays out, but we're hitting it hard in the beginning of the year. So, a lot of good stuff planned for this year. We have something else that I think we'll talk about next week, that you might want to tune in for, but cool. That's awesome. And I have a show and tell.
Ooh.
Right. So, Bailey, who's usually in the chat, she's helped me out with a bunch of QSCon stuff. I'm sure you've seen Permafrost in the chat at times. Got me this little guy as a Christmas present.
That's adorable.
It is great. It is a Halloween decoration, which is not going to go away at all. It's staying out all year.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a candy corn themed
Low cat.
Like, come on.
That's awesome.
It's great. I love it. Look at the stripes.
If you could like have genetically made any creature, not like sentient creature, but creature, from Star Wars to have as your own pet, I think it would be a Loth cat for me.
I'm not a cat fan, but I think that might be the thing.
Yeah. I mean, either that or a Rancor, right? Ride that around Houston.
A Rancor would be pretty neat, yes. There's those little blind boxes. Or not, they used to be blind boxes, but the Star Wars bounty things that were all about Grogu. The new set has a Loth cat. New set?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, Series 8. These are all the ones in Series 8. There's another chopper.
I haven't seen those.
There's an Ewok, and there's that with Babu. Is that Babu? I don't think it's Babu, but it's one of Babu's.
Yeah, that's Babu Freak, isn't it? It would be. It would have to be.
Does he grab Babu or he grabs one of the other ones?
Yeah, I don't remember which one. Bad Baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chopper. Yeah.
I love that one. Yeah, a new chopper. And then there's that one in the pod.
Those are fun.
That one with the chainmail.
Yeah, I have all the old ones. Oh, the chainmail. That's cool.
And the Ewok. I have them all. I'm caught up on all 8 series of these.
That's fun.
This was Series 6. It had R2.
Okay.
2 of those in the same series.
That's weird that they did 2 of those.
From Obi-Wan. Yeah. That one with the training droid.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I just have the Series 1 or 2, maybe.
I don't think I've shown these. This is 7. These Ahsoka, Chopper, and BB I have on the TV stand. And there's
another Loth cat.
Yep.
Wow, I didn't know they had all those.
Yeah, 8.
I have the little Ahsoka.
8 series now. Yeah, wow. The little baby Ahsoka.
That's cool.
Isn't it great? I love Chopper.
That's from the Tales of the Jedi, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I love these things. So I'm all caught up. That was more recent of a purchase. But yeah, my little Loth cat will live here for a while now. So
that's cool.
Yeah,
I like him. What's his name?
I don't know.
You need a name.
Candy.
Yeah. Works. Candy corn.
Yeah. Candy. Yeah, that's the first thing I came up with. I can think of something more Halloween-y. I call it Jack.
Not quite a like Jack skeleton kind of thing, right?
That's what I was thinking. No, I like Candy. Candy seems more appropriate. So
yeah.
And then if anybody is heading down to the Carolinas this weekend, it's Tantrumcon. Andrew and I talked a little bit about it. He's going down there. I'll be down there this weekend. So if you're around and heading down there, come say hello.
So Tantrumcon, I've never been. What's that one like? Is it exhibit kind of? Is it all gameplay?
I've heard nothing but good things about the people that I've talked to about it. It is, I think, as far as I know, it's definitely more focused on gameplay, but there is vendor presence. I spoke with Chad from 25th actually earlier to make sure he was going. And he's been to he's had a booth at every one that they've done. It's somewhere around 800 people. I don't know if they're going to near 1,000, but it's somewhere's around there. So it's a little bit more than QSCon, but not as bonkers as some. So it's got still that like backyard con kind of feel.
Nice.
Yep. So I'm looking forward to it. I love the Tantrum people are great. Kevin and Will are awesome. So I'm looking forward to see how they do things, right? Like I'm always looking for convention stuff. A lot of what QSCon's modeled after was, like I said, that Dice Tower Con down in Orlando before it switched over to Dice Tower East or whatever it is now. So yeah, Dave has been there. Di has been there. Hey, Derek. So yeah, I'm looking forward to heading down there. It'll be a good weekend, and I'll talk about it. Monday, I'll be most likely exhausted because I'll be traveling up.
That's how I like you on the show. Nice and exhausted.
Yep. I don't talk as much when I'm that exhausted. So yeah, that's what I got on my docket, and then obviously Luca painting.
Cool. Well, let's see a Luca painting then.
Cool.
Let's see the number 100 Luca painting.
Number 100. So yeah, so Luca, little over 3 now, still doing it now with his brother, is watercolor painting on canvas. And every Monday I take a selection of his growing gallery to show off how bonkers Chris is. So
it's not about me.
This is today's. This was done on the 14th. So just last week.
Cool. And
here is today's 100th Luca painting. I got to make sure I put that on here too, that it's number 100. 100
says it in the banner.
Oh, it does say number 100. Yeah, and on the bottom I always put the what number it was and the date of the show that it was on. So here we go. You ready?
Yep. Oh, wow.
Right?
All right. Well, I know what I see. And it's really cool.
I believe it.
And then comments, what do you see? Get us into your deepest, darkest psyche. I wonder how many people are going to see what I see. Do you know what it's based off of? Did he base it off of anything, or did he just...
There was nothing. Him and Miko were both painting next to each other. There was nothing put in front, so...
Because he's green, I could see that. Tornado. A slime cube ate mother brain.
Okay.
Poison rose. Oh, I definitely could see the rose, the black rose. Yeah.
Yep.
A green rose. Good. I mean, I see a black rose with green around it. I guess it could be a green rose. Yeah.
Isn't it cool how these are one of the things that I really love about this is the way that the black dried. It looked like you can see the petals of a rose there, right?
This is what I was seeing as well. So I see a skull, black skull with green flames.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yep.
Very cool.
Rose coming out of poison ivy cloud. Flubber mixed with oil. A green Starro.
Oh, okay. Pokemon, right? Starro?
Yeah, the black that's down at the bottom, I see is kind of like the inside of the collar.
Okay.
And the skull is just floating in that fire, the green fire.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it does look more like a rose now.
Yeah.
After people have said that. But that dark circle in the middle is where I saw the eyeball of the skull.
Yeah. I love watercolor. I love the way, because this is not what it looked like when he painted. And then when it all dries and it gives that. Oh, okay. Got it. I love it.
Oh, okay. The star on the face thing.
Gotcha.
Or the giant star that walks around.
So I'm with Eric on this one. I can't not see. I know it's different, but I can't not see Mike Wazowski.
Really? I didn't see that one, but I mean,
big green ball and the eye in the center, that's just.
Yeah, I need the white in the middle for it to be the,
Yeah,
but
I'm with you. But the big green ball is Mike Wazowski.
Wrong kind of green too. It's like a neon.
Yeah, that's true. Doesn't matter. It's my brain, Chris. I can see.
I'm not saying no. You can see what you want to see.
Maybe I see green differently than you. I do live in the future.
You live in the past.
No, I'm an hour ahead of you, so I live in the future.
Oh, okay. No, but
Yes.
by the time I see the sun, you've seen the sun for an hour.
Right, which means I'm ahead of you.
Right.
It's okay. We'll get there. So yeah, there's today's again. That was just last week that he did it.
That's a fun one. I like that.
That is number 100.
Very cool.
Yeah, I like it. Just a 2-color. I like the tornado. The tornado idea was neat. Like you can definitely see the spiral on the bottom, but yeah, there you go.
I like that one.
There
Kind of makes me want to make the character that I see.
It does look like if in an alternate universe there is a Chris Strain that made an Asking for Troubles game in green, not orange, and that looks like one of your that could be one of your troubles.
There is. I actually posted that once. It was going to be green and purple instead of orange and blue.
Oh, I'm so happy you went orange and blue.
Yeah. So Erin wanted to go with the green and purple because those are her 2 favorite colors. And that's why I was like, let's try this one. We don't have to do just my favorite colors.
Yeah.
And then we put it up to a vote from people who were looking at the original Kickstarter. And they all went, most of them went orange and blue. So
I was definitely involved in that voting. We probably wouldn't have met each other if it wasn't orange and blue because of like Syracuse, like orange and blue, like everything was that. So like purple and green would have been totally different. Yeah. Talk about a fork in the road at that point, right?
Yeah.
We wouldn't be going towards our 200th episode if you went green and purple.
Weird.
Mm-hmm.
Or I would have been doing it with someone who really liked green and purple. Probably not.
Yeah, maybe if somebody saw it and yeah.
And nobody else wanted to talk to me but you, so.
Sure. Like green and purple are like Lex Luthor colors. When I think of green and purple, I think of him. Like old school Super Friends Lex Luthor with the dumb fucking chest armor.
I mean, I think a Joker, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. Where he had like the collar.
Yeah.
Like the green collar. Yeah.
Yep.
That water lily one from a few. Oh, the
oh yeah.
You're talking about. Yeah.
There you go.
Yep. Well, I mean, they're yeah, green and purple is party. That's true. I mean, they're complementary colors, right?
They are. They are.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking around. I don't have it.
It's also why they're used in our own thing. There you go. Oh, that's the universe one, right? University.
No, this is
It's braces.
Oh no, it is from University because you got the braces. Yeah. Yeah, it's from the what was the name of the I have it there. Infinity, Disney Infinity that they had for PlayStation or whatever. I got Mike and Sully right here.
Oh, that's cool. I like that style.
Yeah, they live right here on the thing, along with my Moon Knight. And all the other. Oh, did I show this last week or 2 weeks ago?
Oh no, but I got them downstairs. But I also have some of those.
The tinies, the minis.
Yeah, the little tiny ones. Yeah. I got a set of them, 4 of them. One of them's Tarkin, and then I got the Han and the Chewie and Leia and Luke. I think.
Nice. I really like the Disney Doorables. I don't know if you know those. They come in mystery. They have a Death Star. I'll show it next week. They have a Death Star that comes with 4 blind. Like there's 4 little guys. They're about that size. Maybe no, they're bigger. And this new series, they did a lot of modern stuff. They have R5, which is kind of cool, but they have Hunter and Wrecker and Omega as 3 of the characters, and they have Ahsoka and Thrawn. Like they have really cool ones, but they're really tiny. Yeah, they're addictive as shit. They're on sale. They're at Target right now for $5. They're normally 10, but it's a red Death Star that opens up and it's got 4-pack in it. Luca loves opening them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have seen those. Yeah.
Some of them are so cool.
Little chibi guys. Yeah.
Yeah. They have a Rey in this new one. They have a Rey and she's holding a yellow lightsaber, which is pretty neat because I don't think I've seen anything that's advertised her having a yellow lightsaber.
Well, she has it in episode 9
with the white hood.
She has a white hood, but she doesn't pull it up. At the very end of episode 9, she clicks on her own lightsaber and it's yellow.
It's yellow. Oh, well, that's a new one in this one. But they have Thrawn, they have Darth Maul, they have young Anakin and Clone Wars Anakin. Like they're really neat and they're tiny. But I saw this. This is probably the only one that I would pick up just because of the Millennium Falcon. But I thought this was.
I didn't see the Millennium Falcon. They have a Death
Star.
Thank you. A Death Star frame where you could put all of them in.
Yep. But they want $40 for it. I saw it at Target and I almost got it because it will fit the Doorables as well, but not $40. Like you can make.
Yeah, I can get 2 of these guys for $40.
Yeah, sure.
That, so.
Yeah.
Or a really cool one.
Yeah, the hologram Darth Maul I've seen.
I didn't get any of the hologram ones. But I mean, like General Grievous is like a $35 one, the special ones that are like we have to build a completely new molds and all that stuff for.
Did you see the IG one that has Grogu that you put in its chest?
Yes. I kind of want that one. Yes.
Yeah.
And it comes with it comes with a little guy that he squeezes too.
Yep.
And I have a little Babu Freak for these. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, these guys on the wall. He's like that big. It's ridiculous.
What did it come with?
He came with a C-3PO with a red arm.
Oh, neat.
Oh, and the cool thing about that 3CPO is if you put him in the freezer, his eyes turn red.
That's awesome.
And it doesn't say that on the package at all.
You also said 3CPO, which I think is kind of funny.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
I'm still recovering from being sick.
But that's neat that his eyes go red.
Yeah, very weird.
Huh, that's cool.
And I don't know why. Yeah.
I'll stop talking now. That's what I have.
That's all this. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the problem with show and tell is
Oh yeah, I can start getting into more stuff, but we'll leave it alone.
3CPO.
Yeah, 3CPO. It's another protocol droid.
Yeah. That's the third one. That's the third CPO. Okay. Should we talk about board games like we're supposed to?
Yeah, we might as well.
Oh,
why not?
That was all the ginger.
That's fun.
It was a ginger tea, but it all settled at the bottom.
Should shake it before you drink it.
I should have. Anyway. Okay, so our top 5 games, I have to actually read it. We want to learn next. So did you have any it's pretty clear, cut and dry. Normally we're talking about, how we interpreted this and stuff, but it's not like I'm going to be like, nope, this one doesn't count because you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess if it's an expansion, I wouldn't have counted it.
No, I would have.
Would you? Did you put expansions on your list?
No, but like if Scoundrels and Skullport was coming out and I want to play it, I'd want to play it with the base to see what it did.
Sure.
I think if there was an expansion, I would have put it on there. I don't think I have anything that is expansion related to anything that I own.
In fact, my number 5 on my list has an expansion, and I have the expansion too, but I haven't played the original game. So,
yeah, that makes sense. These are all games that I haven't played.
Are they all games that you have?
They are not. There's one that I don't.
There's one that I don't on my list as well.
Yeah, I'll get into it when I get into it. I'll explain it. But yeah, cool. Every other one. I only have 7 on my list, so hopefully we don't have too much crossover. I think there's going to be 1 on our crossover.
I have 7 on my list too.
Oh, look at this shit! Wow. So yeah, there's one that I don't currently own. There's a reason why I want to test it. So.
Nice. Heavy cardboard golden elephant.
Ooh.
What is that?
It's an award. What is there a front runner, Derek? Do you have someone you think in mind that is going to end up winning? Derek always has great games to suggest. Like
I would guess heavy cardboard for that year would probably be SETI, or what are some of the other big ones? I think a Lacerda game came out last year.
Yeah, it was it wasn't on Mars. I don't remember. 55.
5 titles played.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, hopefully Andromeda's Edge might be in there.
It's a good one.
Vengeance. I'll play that one. All right. So do you want to start with your number 5 or?
Cool. We'll look for the top 10. Yeah, I can. Cool.
I'll put up the number 5.
Cool.
And right, I can even I could do stuff like share screens and stuff. So
there you go.
Go ahead and tell me what you're wanting to do.
The Edge is in the running. Do you see this?
Woohoo! Nice. As it should be.
As it should be. All right. So yeah, I'm going to talk about. I guess more recently, we Andrew and I talked about it last week. Andrew put it on my radar. I had seen a bunch of people talking about it, but I didn't know much about it, and Andrew kind of explained it to me last week. As part of he mentioned something about it potentially hitting his travel games, because that's what we talked about last week, but he needed to make sure that he can take some things and adjust it because of components. But that's Castle Combo from Pandasaurus.
2024.
That's it.
I've seen this cover.
You're playing 9 cards in the game. You're doing a 3x3 grid. And some of them have that kind of combo where it wants to be in the center row or it wants to be in a corner or something. And then you have an immediate effect when you play it, and then an end of game effect on the bottom in the scroll. And there's castle and village, and there's 5 different flags. So you're trying to combo a whole bunch of shit in the cards that you're playing. But it seems super like straightforward, where you're gonna play a card and you can't move them afterwards, and you have this 3x3 grid you're playing it in. So on his recommendation, and the fact that I've seen it on a lot of top lists and a lot of people currently talking about it in the QSCon community, I picked up a copy last Tuesday when I was at game night, the day after Andrew was telling me about it. And I want to play it. I'm bringing it with me this week to the con, so I'm hoping to get it to the table.
Very cool.
Yeah, I like the 9x9 grid combo. One of my favorites is 9 Minute Kingdom, which I talked about last week. And it's another one of those where it's different. You don't have a selection. You have 10 cards in your hand. You play one and then pass. So it's more drafting than purchasing from a center market. So it's got different, like the combos in this is nothing like that game, but it is a 3x3. And I like the idea of eventually you're going to block yourself off from something, right? If I put this card here, that means I can't go up or down anymore. And if I put this card here, that means I can't go right or left anymore. So once you have your 3, you've locked in how high it can go or how wide it can go. And I like that restriction. So we'll see. It looks pretty cool. I like the art. I like the iconography all makes sense. You're playing it really quickly. You never really fucked on your turn, because if you can't get something from the market, there's a messenger that's either in the village or the castle, and you can pay a key to move him. If you don't want what's in that row, you can go to the other row. Or you can pay a key to wipe the row that he's on and get 3 new cards. But at any point, you can take a card and put it face down to get money. So if you don't have any money to buy cards, you can burn one of your spots to get yourself 6 coins. And you're not getting any end game benefit from it, but you are getting an immediate coin bump. So there's always I like that variability. Like you're never really screwed. Like it might not feel great, but it's not like I lost my turn kind of thing. So we'll see.
That's cool.
Yep.
A lot of people in the chats have played it.
Yeah, it looks. Yeah. I agree. 4x4 is good, Eric and Brandon. We'll have an announcement on a 4x4 soon.
Ooh. Very nice. Okay, so my pick is not that.
Good.
Yeah, we're not stepping on each other just yet. So I've seen that cover, but I didn't know anything about it. So
Yeah.
My number 5 is one I got, I don't know, sometime last month in the mail from a Kickstarter from its, what do you call it? From its expansion, but I've never played the base game. So I've always wanted the base game. It went out and stuff, and then the Kickstarter for the expansion, the Pirates expansion, came out, and I grabbed both of them up. And I haven't learned them yet, but this is probably going to be the next one I try. By the way, the order I put these in are the ones that I want to play like the most. But this one's probably going to be the first one I tried just because of the rule set.
Okay.
Because, you know, there might be a book this thick on one of these, and then I'm like, okay.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of Trajan, and this has some of the same kind of DNA, I guess, is the kind of idea, or whatever it's called. You know, the rondel, or what do they call it, Mancala kind of play that's on these kind of things. I love that in games, and so I don't know much more than the fact that it has that kind of mechanism, and that sells me. I think we did a list once, which was like what mechanisms grab you, and rondel was my 1 or 2, right?
Yeah. Rondel for sure. Yep.
Very easy to grab me as a customer if it's a rondel. If it's a real rondel, there are some things that are rondels that aren't real rondels, you know, just like there are worker placements, but they're not really working, you know. I'm not getting in that argument, but yeah.
That's another episode.
Yeah, I mean, I could get in that argument, and I would be happy to get in an argument because I like arguing. But okay. For a second, I thought that looked like the wine from Concordia.
Oh yeah.
They use the same thing. Anyway, I'm so happy everybody took a picture of every single piece. I just want to see the board state. Whatever.
Oh, that got dual layer. That's nice.
Yeah, so I already went through and like punched everything because that's what I do whenever I get new games, and we'll talk about that.
Don't do it.
No, we will talk about it. We won't talk about it just yet. But I went through and getting all the pieces and putting it. It has a insert that's like you're supposed to know where the pieces are, and there's nothing that tells you. So I had to look on BGG. Thank you, Aldi, for the site that tells me where all the stuff goes in inserts. Because people will take pictures of here's how you put stuff in if they don't tell you. But
I still don't understand like what we did with Stuff of Legend. The bottom of the box, not take the box top off. The bottom of the box has those 4 sides that they're blocked by the box top. Why are you not using one side of that for games like this this is how you put it back kind of exploded view thing? Like, it's such a missed opportunity. Put in a sheet, I get it. It'll cost you a little bit of money, but like it costs you nothing because you're printing on the box anyway. Why they're not utilizing that for heavy games? Like, you don't need to put how to put away Flip 7. Like, I get it. But like games like this where they have inserts and they're not labeled and you got it, like you're leaving it up for people to put away. Just this is where things go. Like
it's a cost and time and effort, and that really all it is. I mean, if you're paying a graphic designer, for instance, that's time you have to pay for. Blah blah blah.
But you need to give that information to the person that's designing the insert for your box anyway. These are our components. This is how thick they are.
Sure.
This is what they're creating for the insert. You can, I mean, yeah, it takes a little bit of time, but put that together because it goes along. It's gonna help people give it better ratings. They're gonna have something better to say about it, which will in turn somehow make your game better, right? There are more people talking about it because if you start doing that shit, then people talk about it and people, oh, that's really good. They pay attention to stuff. Like, it's just.
I mean, you don't have to tell me I'm the one that made it for Andromeda's Edge, but it did take quite a bit of work to do it.
I'm sure.
So
I'm sure it does.
If you have a graphic designer or if you're paying one, that is a cost. That is time. It took several days to do that because you go back and forth all the time with where things are and stuff. So
yeah, but even like Derek just said, like you can just put symbols on the bottom of the insert that represent the tokens that need to go in there. And intuitively, the iconography then works in your insert. Like There are ways around it, but utilizing that
That's also a cost. But yeah,
sure. But
I'm not saying it shouldn't be done. I'm just saying when it's not done, it's because things are being. I mean, board games are a tight little industry. You lose money or make money based on small decisions. And
I get it. There was a comment on BGG recently, yesterday, I think it was, for charcuterie, and someone had asked why the objective board was thinner. I think they said floppy or flimsy. They used the word flimsy, and it wasn't as thick as the player boards or the serving board. And it doesn't need to be that thick. It saves on weight. It saves on box size. Like, it saves on a lot of. I understand that. Yeah. But when it comes to something like that with a lot of bits, that little extra effort for something, even if it costs money, like, it does go a long way, because it gives you, it gives people, it gives you better feedback from people. From you.
I agree, and job security for me, but
yep,
there are reasons why.
Yeah,
and
I get it.
It's pinching pennies. It's the only way to make it sometimes. Some of this in this industry.
Pinch somewhere else.
Yeah.
Pinch somewhere else. Give somebody, because it's more frustrating when I see that shit. Like, it's more frustrating and don't do like what Last Light did with the extra box of upgrades and pay for a game trays that you fucking throw out. Like,
I didn't do that part of Last Light.
Jeez. No, I know. That's why I'm bringing it up. It had nothing to do with you. There are ways to save where you can still make an impact for your customer. Like,
sure,
that goes a long way. Like, that goes far. When you have something like that, you pay attention to details.
I agree. I mean, I think the first time I ever really saw it was in Scythe, where he did it on the side of the box.
Yep.
And whenever everybody saw it, they were like, why haven't we been doing this?
Yeah. Or something like you did with Troubles. Like, you made that card where the cards go in your insert. You made it so it can be sleeved or unsleeved in the same spot in the insert. Like, that's really, not to mention your how to teach on the back of your instruction book. Like, those kind of things are super smart and they're noticeable in games. Like,
those are two things that I'm surprised haven't been done more often. But
yep,
we'll see.
Yeah, and that's a good point too. If we went with a thick, I know you just put this up, but if we went with a thick piece for the public objectives, and that warps, then your cards aren't going to sit on it properly, and that's going to be annoying. Whatever. Are
we promising a rant per number? Because that was number 5 rant.
I love it.
We should do top 5 rants. Oh, I could do that one.
That could be fun.
Oh, thank you. I want to put that in all of my games, but I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to this next one. So we'll see.
Yeah, not everybody is a good teacher, so having that as a resource is super helpful.
It was very helpful, and we're talking about in asking for troubles. The back of the rule book is a how to teach this game, and I got a lot of compliments from like envoys and stuff that had to teach it for demos because it's right there. So,
yep, yeah, the original copy is right there
for the rant. Yeah, it's funny. All right, so number 5. Are we snaking like we usually do?
Yeah, do it.
All right, so I'll do my number 4. As soon as I find the number 4, there's the number 4. All right, so my number 4 is one I know you've already played, The White Castle. But I picked this up finally. It took me a while to find it. Like, I know you could probably go online and all that. I like to look in local stores around for a while. And then if I can't get it, I'll get it online. I got this for Christmas, so it's probably bought online through someone. But
right.
So you told me about this game. In fact, you could talk more about it than I can because you've already played it. But just putting, that bridge right there. I wonder if they have a better picture of it. So I already popped it, like I said, and made the little bridges. I was like, I have to play this game. It has little bridges. Look at these bridges
that are absolutely useless.
Yeah, but they're adorable. And
they are, but they are useless.
But you put your dice on them, right?
You do, but depending on where you're sitting, you can't see over it into the information that you need from above or below it.
Oh, you mean those icons on either side of them?
And you don't. The only thing the bridge is there for is for aesthetics. You can just put the dice out from lowest to highest, and it does absolutely nothing.
Yeah, but then you don't get the cute little bridges.
I get it. I love it.
Yeah, that's fine. When you describe this as being like so tight, you only get so many turns to get done what you're trying to do and stuff. That kind of description grabs me immediately. So
and
I've been wanting to grab this.
Dave said it's a bit too tight for him, but it is. It is, and it actually works really well in this. It's one of those games where you can't. Both sides of the coin, right? You can't afford to miss, and if you miss, you could be fucked if you're playing someone that doesn't miss. But it is really restrictive. I mean, depending on, I know you and Aaron usually play, so it's 2. I don't like this at a high play count. It goes 2 to 4. I don't know, 1 to 4. I don't know if there's a solo.
I think it's 4. Yeah, you mentioned that you didn't think it would be good at a high play count, which again, like you said, Aaron and I play all of our games, so that doesn't scare me away. Right, and I don't think Dave is crapping on something I'm interested. If you say, "Oh, it's too tight for me," that's not crapping in the game. That's just giving me your opinion of how it feels. To me, that makes me go like, well, maybe it's tight enough. Because we all have different opinions now.
Yeah, maybe you like it
tight. That alone makes me go like, ooh, I'm going to see how. I heard what you said.
I know. I said the same thing about Red Cathedral. I love Red Cathedral. I love the way it works. I love the resource management. I love the dice. I love the way that game functions. I've played it since I've been crapping on it at 4 players. I played it at 4 players again because people wanted to play it and I wanted to play it, and I knew how to play it, and I don't want to play it at 4 players. And same thing with White Castle. I think it's a good, fun game. I might play it at 3, but I really think it's going to be a good heads up 2-player game.
I don't think Red Cathedral is a bad game at 4. It just doesn't sing as well as it does at 2 or 3.
Right. Yeah, it's not bad. It stays longer than it needs to for what it is. Like,
I could see that. Yeah. But yeah, DeVere's killing it. And the last game I played with him was 3 Ring Circus. Yeah, I saw that comment, and I already punched it and everything and put it back in, and I know it's tight. So
yeah, that's what DeVere packs a lot. And literally, not only do they pack a lot of gameplay into those boxes, because that's not a big box, right? It's like
this big, yeah.
Maybe Codename size, but they pack
it's taller than that, but yeah.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yep. I agree.
See, that sounds great to me. So
Evan, we'll play in September.
Evan,
remind me. Yeah,
I love the little bridge.
You don't need it. You don't need it.
But
I think you'll like it. I think you'll enjoy what it does. The choices you have and the restrictions. Like, there seems like there's a lot, and then it seems like there isn't, and then there seems like there's a lot again. Like, it's a good game. They did really well with this one.
And a stupid weakness for punch boards that then go together and make little 3D things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird that it's not in more games, just because, yeah. But I mean, that's a huge thing and stuff. But it's weird that it's not in more games because it's just punch board.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Hey, Matt.
Hey, Matt. Oh, Donnie. I didn't see Donnie.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a toy factor, right? Whenever you open it up, and even whenever you have to build your own little insert, remember those old Euros where it's like, oh, put these together and make the inserts and stuff. And I'm like, oh, I get to, yeah, it's like a little Lego game before I get to play the game.
Yep. Hey, Nix.
Hey.
Have we checked on, speaking of, have we checked on Tim? Is Tim doing okay?
Tim's fine.
I don't know.
So my number 4 is White Castle. It's sitting on my table in the other room, getting ready to be played. But like I said, it was the last DeVere game I played was the 3 Ring Circuits, and I love that game. Mm-hmm. Have you played that one yet?
I haven't, and it's a travesty because Syracuse is on that map.
Oh, it is. Yeah, you can actually go there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that one I have played 2, 3, and 4. And I think it's good at all of them. Probably 3 is best. but I think it's very forgivable with 4. I almost think 2 isn't competitive enough. So
interesting.
Yeah, I heard that, and I'll probably get it if I like this game any. So we'll see. It's hard for me to get expansions to games that I like because I already like the game.
Yeah, you don't want to add too much to it, and you don't want to ruin it. Yeah,
it's a weird like catch-22 thing because if I like the game, why do I need to expand it?
Right.
And if it needs an expansion, then I probably didn't like the game.
Yeah, that's true. But go back to Waterdeep. Like Waterdeep is fine by itself, and Scoundrels and Skullport just adds enough to it where it's not too much, but it does feel good.
Yeah, that's true. Scoundrels is phenomenal, and I'll never play without it. So,
yep. Says the person that did a full Kickstarter for 2 expansions for his game.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But everything fits.
It does fit. It does fit.
Everything fits inside. So, yeah, I get that too. It kind of depends on what the expansion is.
Sure.
Like if it's an awesome game and it expands on content, I'm more likely to buy it than if it's like, hey, here's this whole new, like Concordia. I have the Salsa expansion. I've never played it because every time I get Concordia, I'm like, I like Concordia. I'll just play Concordia.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting when it scratches an itch of another game you'd rather play.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it just kind of depends on the expansion. But I have played other Concordia maps because that's not new rules. That's just another way to play. It's new content, right? So
Right. That makes sense.
Salsa. Because people like saying salsa.
Salsa. Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's my number 4. Let's go to your number 4.
All right. So it's on my list of newly acquired games, and it's
all of these are new for me.
Yep, they're all new for me. That's not true. This one I've had for a minute. I've had that one for a minute. These are all new, all packs, but that was last month. I'm slightly nervous because this is based on an IP and a book IP, and the last game that I played that was based on a book IP was Red Rising.
Oh yeah, and you love that one.
Love that one. Yep. But this is by John DeClaire, so I like his designs. And it's based on Sanderson's Mistborn.
Yeah.
So and it's a deck builder, so it's hard to fuck up a deck builder. I know nothing of the IP whatsoever, so I'm going kind of like with the Reckoners. I love the Reckoners.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew nothing of the IP before going into it. So I'm not going into it hoping like, oh, I hope this is, or no, this wouldn't make sense. So I don't have any of that prior knowledge going in. I'm looking forward to playing it as a deck builder by John. And then I hope it doesn't hurt that I don't know any of the characters. I'm hopeful that it doesn't. I'm like missed more the books. Okay. All right.
So I've read half of this book.
Okay.
It's a really intriguing world. Magic's done by them like eating metals, like different metals or something like they keep little scraps of metals and things like that. From what I remember, it's an intriguing world, interesting stuff going on, but the writing style just didn't grab me. And it's a very subjective thing. I'm very picky about writing style. Mm-hmm. So I got bored halfway through the book and I moved on. I might revisit it again. Who knows? But I totally understand that. And then I've been picking this game up like 2 or 3 times off shelves thinking maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. Yeah. The deck builder aspect of it looks pretty good.
Yep, it does. And I like Brotherwise. Like Brotherwise makes good stuff. I can't think of something that they've made that I didn't like. And I like John's designs. Like,
yeah.
It seems to have a lot of check boxes checked off the right way. So we'll see. Otherwise, other than it being a deck builder, I do not know anything else about how it works, like how different it is from other deck builders. But I've heard great things about it. It's sold out at Barnes and Noble, I think twice now. Every time I went to go check, so. And I'm not surprised Matt's working on a John game. That's exciting to hear too. Nice. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, the reason why I haven't picked it up is because it's battling each other, and battling each other deck builders just aren't for me anymore. Like I had to get the Starborn and all that, but I've kind of just phased out of that. But I hear that there's a cooperative version of it, and strangely enough, that might bring me back to it.
Wow.
I know, right?
One, you hate cooperative, and two, you hate games that give you both competitive and cooperative in the same box. But
yeah,
you'd break your rule for this one. That's it. Well, I mean, John does good stuff, so I trust that John made a good game. And mixed with Brotherwise, like I said, like I feel like it's going to be a good product. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it.
All rules have their exceptions, and my feeling is that I am always too hopeful that everything is the exception. So I fall for the same trap over and over again, right? Yep. Not trap, but the trap for me, kind of thing.
Sure. Makes sense.
So yeah, this is one I'll probably have to play before I go yes or no. But yeah,
I'm hoping to play it this weekend. If not, we'll play it in April, and John will be there. So
yeah, I do want to revisit the book, so or the first book I was reading. I think I just came out of reading The Name of the Wind, 2 books, and that style might be my very favorite type of writing style ever. Unfortunately, I'll never read anything by him again because he won't write anything again. But not what I want him to write anyway. But The Name of the Father. No, The Name of the Wind.
Name of the Rose?
Nope, not The Name of the Rose. Name of the Wind. And so I was in a spoiled state of, writing style.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll go back. Now I've been reading a lot of lit RPGs, so writing style isn't quite, high standard at that point, but they're fun. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mistborn, this looks interesting. I do want to play it. I'm hesitant, but I'm drawn in because of the names and the world is very interesting. So
yeah, the pedigree. I don't like this. I don't think I'm a big fan of lane battlers either, but again, I trust the product.
Right. I don't like battling each other deck builder games.
Right.
It just kind of one note for me. It's like after you play it a couple times, you're like, okay.
Right. Yeah. We'll see. Oh, okay. Maybe it's not a lane battler. All right. Well, yeah. I'm hoping to get it to the table, so we'll see.
Cool. All right. What's your number 3?
So my number 3 is based on an impulse buy at PAX because of Dave and Die, and that's Dabbawala.
You're going to have to spell that one.
Dabba.
Okay.
There you go. So.
Oh, I love this cover.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of Queen games anymore. There's what they do with Kickstarter is unnecessary.
Hey, they got rid of the yellow.
They did. I think it's on the side.
Which now?
Nope. No, a little bit. It's on the side a little bit.
No, I don't see it on the side.
Down on the bottom side. Oh, is that a road? Maybe I'm just looking at the road. So anyway, so you are a Dabbawala who you're that person on the bike, and you are delivering food around town. And on your turn, you're going to move to one of the locations that has those cards. Pull the card, and then you're going to get a polyomino based on which one you pull that represents the dabbas, which are the food in their canisters, and you're putting it into your depending on what difficulty level you're playing. Like if you look at right underneath the 3 there, those boards, that's your board, and it's a 3x3 grid. So what you're getting is being placed into that 3x3 grid with standard kind of placement rules, like it can't hang over an empty spot and you're trying to fill up. But as you grow in height, you start, you get a different level. So now once you build on level 2, you can say you're on level 2, level 3, level 4. At the end of the game, you're going to score from top level down. And the cards not only are giving you your immediate polyomino that you're placing, but then they're giving you an end game scoring kind of bump too. So the dual use cards system, which I love, and then the idea of that spatial puzzle of you trying to fit it into your 3x3 grid or whatever. Dave and Di talked about this one. Yeah, it looks like it's tricky, but they talked about it a couple times. And when I was walking around, I got something else. I was walking back to the booth after getting something else. I forgot what else I got. I got Cusco, because I found out that was the remake of Bora Bora, which I adore. I love Bora Bora. So I wanted to get the remake, the upgrade. And then I saw Dabawala, and Dave and Di's recommendation was in my head. So I picked this one up too. But I watched a video. They played it on game night, Lincoln and Nikki and all them. And it looks really it looks super intuitive. Like, it's not very complicated, but the challenge of where you're placing things and how they're scoring. Because when you go to score, you're kind of bidding on how expensive the color is for that level. So when you're done, you flip over that main board there that has the village, you flip it over and it becomes this market board. And there's 4 different colors, red, yellow, blue, and green. And every level that you're bidding on or scoring on, you get to you play a card or you play a token or something that will increase or decrease the value of all the red on that level or all the value of the green on that level. So you might not have many green to score, but you see I do. So you might want to try for that round. You might try and tank it and make it go down so it's not worth as much. But then I see the next level, you have a lot of red showing and so do I. So I'm going to bank on you pumping up red because you want it to be valuable and save my higher stuff for like a different level. Like the way that's going to be, like there's 2 different, it's almost like you're playing 2 different games. You're playing the building phase where you're building up your stuff, and then you're playing the scoring phase when you're done. And there's a whole different mechanism that's then included in phase 2. It looks really, really clever.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about this. So this looks great. This is a great pick.
Thank you.
And look at the little deck holder thing here. Another punch board put together thing that more games need to be doing.
And something else, like I'll show you this. This is actually
these bits over here I can tell are also. Yeah.
So they did something really cool with this that I hadn't seen. Like it all fits in the box, really nice. Like it all works. But what they do. And it comes with different, like they're reversible. So this is the one that was in that picture, that 3x3. Yeah. But you can play this, and it's a different bike, right?
Oh, that's cool.
Right. Okay. And then you have this one where he's just carrying it, or you have this one which is like a wheelbarrow. So it's a totally different layout. There's a heavy replay with it. The center board, there's your villages, right? And then when you flip it over, there's your market. So that's going to be how much you get per green on that level. And then at the end of that round, it goes back down to 0 and you score the next level. So that's on the back of the village board. But what they did that was really clever was this. I think it's really clever. So here's one of those storage things in the game, right?
Yeah. Is it like useful during the game? Is that yeah. Okay. So they did the ecos thing, right?
So, right, but one step further. So here's the thing you put together we were just talking about, and that's where all the polyominoes are. Cool. And then it has this thing that goes on top that stops it from like tipping over and spilling all over the box. But the other side of it, you use during the game, and it's a score track. So like this goes here's your center board. When you flip it over and you start scoring, and then this cover that's covering all that shit goes here like a puzzle, and then it's just expanding the board. So it does nothing for this side because it's more visual, right? Like it goes there and that's cool. But they actually made it so the score track wasn't so fucking tiny, and they utilized it kind of in 2 ways, the cover and as part of the scoreboard. And it's got another one that goes on this side. Like that was really clever. That was attention to detail, and it makes sense. And
good production.
it's got a Matt Paquette kind of thing. I've talked about what he did to the box trees and how he gave it that little wave so that when you pick up the tree, it doesn't fall apart.
Yep.
They give it a little bit of a nipple there. See that little raise?
Yep.
And that one on the side, just so when this goes on, it doesn't come off in the box.
Creates a little bit of tension, yeah.
And it's put right in where the puzzle piece is.
Very nice.
Like it was good attention to detail, and all of the things in this game have it. So here's the other box, and this is for the cards. So there's some extra bits in there too, but all the cards go in this box. And then
was this like a Kickstarter?
No, this was just straight off the shelf. So that's the cover, but on the other side of it is depending on the number of players, how many cards you remove from the deck. Like even utilizing this as kind of like a player aid is really smart.
Yeah, very nice.
Yep. So, I mean, not only did this one, it shocked me shocked me like I thought it would be shit, but it shocked me in the attention to detail that they had in this game. And it looks like it's really, I did say nipple. Was it in the same sentence as Matt Paquette? Is that why your ears perked up because you heard me?
Yeah, you were talking about Matt's nipples. So.
Matt's nipples, yeah. So yeah, this is one that seems like it's not going to overstay. It's going to be an easy teach, and I feel like it's going to be fun to play. It says 45 minutes, 2 to 4. So,
all right, that's pretty cool.
There you go.
I like
Number
that.
3, Dabawala.
Nice.
Yeah,
Good pick.
I think so.
Oh, Queen did a Kickstarter for it.
Oh, but this wasn't the Kickstarter. This was, I mean, maybe it was. I don't know if they have it listed on the barcode.
Dave wants to know if Matt's nipples are number 3 rant.
I don't know. I'll let you know when we take our trip to.
I got nothing but good to say about Matt's. Sorry, Matt.
I'll know more about Matt's nipples.
Sorry, we got into it. The weeds with it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this was the Kickstarter version. I got it at PAX off their shelf. It didn't have a sticker, a Kickstarter sticker or anything. So I did buy a Queenie. They had a Queenie for sale, like their little bonus, whatever the fuck they add into it. But yeah. So Dabawala, number 3.
Yeah, nice pick.
Thank you.
That was your. So I'm supposed to do my 3, right?
You do number 3. Yep.
Okay. All right. So my number 3 is the one that I don't have sitting on my shelf. Oh, you know what? Before we get into 3, I just wanted to. I saw a couple things. So, yeah, He Who Fights with Monsters is a series I've been reading, and now I'm done. I'm waiting for the next one. Book 11 was the last one I read, I think, and that is exceptional. I would recommend that series to anybody. And I told Matt I actually almost had an opportunity to make a game for it, for the IP, but the whole idea fell through and stuff. Couldn't get the IP, but it did give me a great rondel combat system I came up with, and I got to stick it in something. I don't know what, but anyway. But yeah, so my number 3 is a game that I don't own, have not played, of course, but I really want to play it, and it's probably the heaviest one. Let me look. Depending on how you define heavy, it's probably the heaviest one, and will take the longest. Civilization. Stefan Feld, civilization game. Yeah, and I applaud the idea of what they did. That you're not actually building the civilization thematically. You are a student in a future civilization class, and this is your project. Which is why there's a weird cover of the hands and all that stuff, right? But I love civilization games. Awesome. That would be great. I almost got to play it. I almost got to play it in LA, but we couldn't get together on that one. But I love civilization games of all, light ones to heavy ones and things like that. And I have several that are in notebooks that someday I'll get one out, and I'm always happy to try new ones. So
that's cool.
Like playing gods. I think it's more about just setting up systems and watching them work off of each other. Engine based is usually what you do. Like, I'm going to focus more on science and military this time instead of culture and merchants. Or like I like that kind of freedom in civilization games. It's really why I like 4X games. I don't like the whole fighting part of the X. I like 3Xs. Yeah, I did make one. One of the designs I have on a shelf is a 4X game that can be played as a 1X, 2X, 3X, or 4X, and it's module based. So you could pull out all four and set up the game and play 4X game, or you could leave one out and be like, let's not fight this time. Or you could be like, I don't like the part where you explore. Exploring is random and bullshit. So it's kind of neat that you can do that, but I never got around to getting to the prototype stage with it.
I like that idea.
But so anyway, civilization games, they'll get me almost every time, and then Feld is another again with the pedigree, right?
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What
the hell were the 7Xs?
I mean, I've heard of 18X, 7X.
Yeah, but 18XX is because that's not 18X.
Right. It's not. Yeah, it's not the same thing. But yeah, I don't know.
You gave up. We didn't get that far. That's good. Yeah. Right.
I'm curious about that sounds awesome.
It looks like a neat game, and it's Feld.
How do you not get that far? The minute someone says 7X, I'm like, all right, what are the other? But that's the next question. What are the next X's?
Yeah, I want to know what the other 3X's are. Interesting.
Extremely expensive.
Extras.
Yeah. Expansions. Oh, now we're in 8X. Yeah.
Well, expand is one of the X's, though. One of the 4X.
That's true. Yeah.
You expand your expansion.
So Sublution is my number 3.
Good job.
Just heard something kind of explode outside. I'm sure that's fine.
It's probably just snow.
It's probably fine. Yeah, snow's loud, right?
Look what Derek said. Exfoliate.
I'm not playing that game.
That's funny.
That's
why Matt left. That's why I didn't want to.
That's a solo game. All right, my number 2 is one that was just on my recent list. I don't remember what our list was, but it's Galactic Cruise.
Oh yeah, this one's delivering this year. This was our anticipated, I think.
Yeah, I backed it. I'm waiting for it, but I saw it at PAX laid out, and when I saw it, I know there was supposed to be somebody behind the table like describing it, but I guess they walked away or a little something, and I was, you're busy, you're working and stuff, but I stopped and just gawked at all the stuff, so I didn't get a chance to really get a lot of detail, but more heavy, stupid Euro-ness that drives me crazy. I want to get into and play. I love the cover of it.
Yep.
And then
go back. Right there. There's
yeah.
Evan.
Yep.
And Jeremy.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So Evan can tell us.
Yeah.
How this plays.
Our 2025 anticipated episode.
Yeah. Yeah. So makes sense that it's on here, right? So technically I have it, but it's not here yet.
Yeah, mine's delivering at some point too. That's good to know. Oh, you do.
Yeah. Oh, this one?
Yeah.
You can run long, best at 3. You're selling me already. Yeah, it was a Kickstarter.
Yeah, Wayne, it was a Kickstarter.
But yeah, I'm not sure exactly when it's delivering. It should be soon because I saw pretty much the finished thing. Yeah.
Yep.
So I can't wait for that one. I'll probably play it the day of that it delivers if it's not too late. So That's my number 2.
Well, just read the rule book before you punch everything out when you get it.
Don't get me started yet. Yeah, I think a lot of this is prototypes. I don't want to go through too many of those. That's not great. So what's your number 2?
Iridia.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
You're just saying that, so we'll talk about it.
No, it isn't. It's on my list, literally written down. Iridia.
Fine. We'll talk about it. It's my number 1, by the way.
Is it really?
Yeah. Despite what I'm about to rant about, but I'll let you talk about it.
The one that I thought we would step on.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you'd write it because you didn't. Whatever. So anyway, this game's what, 4 years since it was on Kickstarter.
It's been a while. Yeah.
It's the one we've talked about it. It's the one where you can change the heads of your minis. It's got the tiles that you're exploring on the main board that come out and flip over. And it's got a lot of stuff that looks just super cool. Production value looks phenomenal. Not those stickers on the dice, though. That's not. I hope they don't have stickers on dice in the
No. Well, the dice do look similar to that, but it's not stickers.
Okay. So yeah, the box is unbelievably heavy. It's got that Gloomhaven size to it with the weight. I didn't expect it to be that heavy. It did not open mine because I'm not ready.
That's what they look like.
That's cool. Yeah, no,
that's
I like
what they actually look like. Yeah,
better than the other ones. But yeah, this has been it's definitely it was on our 25 anticipated, and I'm looking forward to getting into it. I can't wait. I didn't put it on here to hear you rant. This legitimately is one of the games that I'm looking forward to playing, and I'm glad it's here. And then you kind of mentioned it, but I know you can't get this on a plane, but we can play this one if you want to play a couple. Hopefully it's good enough, but if you want to play a couple scenarios in it, I can bring it in April. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. It was huge hype. It looked like it just looks like it's beautiful. The art's great. The production looks great. But then there's that one thing that they should have done, because not everybody, and we've talked about this. I don't care about updates. I typically don't read them unless it's like you need to fill out your shit now.
Right.
Putting important information into an update seems like a miss if it's not included in some sort of before you move forward, read this statement thing when you open that box. And to your point, retail is going to have an issue, but I'll let you take over from here.
So I stopped here because I agree
with everything that Chris is about to say. I think it's what Chris is about to say. I do agree with. I think there's a missed opportunity and it's going to cause a lot of problems, but I am very much looking forward to playing this game because it looks beautiful. And I
also agree with what you just said, because it is my number 1 still, despite what I'm about to say, which is you see these 3 punch boards, do not punch them. You're welcome, because no one told me that. They're right on top, the first thing you see other than a rule book. And when I get a game, I open it up and I punch it because I want to look at all the cool bits. It gets me excited about it. Now, it is a campaign game, so sometimes you don't get to do any of it. But I thought, 3 punch boards right on top, I'll go ahead and punch these. Punched them, and then I was like, where's all this stuff go? And then I read the rule book. I was like, I better look in the rule book. Maybe there's a where to put stuff, right? Then I look in the rule book, and the first thing in the rule book and setup says, don't punch the punch boards. Too late. Everything's already punched and bagged, by the way. So, that's my warning to do that. And because the reason why you're not supposed to punch it is because, and I've never seen this done before in a campaign game, they don't tell you where any of this stuff goes until you need it. So, for instance, headless ones. So, like, I don't know, you can see there's like a tunic right there, right? Well, maybe you won't get that till like the 3rd game or something.
Right.
So until then, there's nowhere in the box to put this stuff.
Right.
Now, I did have a friend tell me who had played a few of them ahead of time say, dig down a little bit, try not to look too hard, but dig down a little bit and you'll find some just empty cardboard sections. That's just filler. He said you could take that out, maybe put bags in there. So now I only have one bag sitting outside the box.
Huh.
But it's just we talked about.
Yeah.
I told you I like to open up games and pop and get excited about the game, and that just deflated my excitement so much. It's like, really? You couldn't have put one little note on top.
If there was a little note that said, Chris, don't punch anything, your excitement level would still be high because they told you not to punch stuff?
Well, I would have gone like, oh, okay. And then no issue, no problem. Right. But now I have a box with baggies of stuff that sit on top of it.
That could get lost.
Not fun. That could get lost. Yeah, it's just not fun. It's just a letdown. It's just a production letdown. And sorry, but that's true. And look, there's space right here where you could have said, don't punch. You can put it as text. Doesn't cost you a thing.
Yeah, but I'll combat that. There are a lot of games I see that say, do not throw these out. Put them under the insert to do that box lift thing. And unless you're reading it, you're almost tuned to punch and throw away.
So like, but look, big letters, do not punch, right here.
Yeah, I agree.
Right there.
Yeah.
You don't even have to have an extra piece of paper.
That's unfortunate.
So that's my warning. Don't punch those. Hopefully you see this, or they did put it out on an update. That's not where that goes. Somebody buys this on retail, they'll never see that.
Well, you did say that it was the first thing you read in the rule book. Like, that's a good place for it.
Sure. I guess there are some people that get games and they don't punch anything until they pick up the rule book and read. But whenever I pick up the rule book, it's time to learn the game.
Yeah.
I would already punch the piece. It's weird.
Yeah. I gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen people talking about it and playing it and have friends that told me about it. Yeah. So I'm still excited about it because it still looks like an awesome game.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's just whenever those little production things make you trip up at the beginning, you know?
Yeah,
even if it's an insert.
I do the similar thing. Like, I want to open up my game and start punching and putting things away. And then I get turned off when I don't know where the things go in the box.
Yep.
That drives me crazy, where my excitement level goes down because now I'm frustrated in where to put things. I don't know if I put them away right. And now I'm like soured on the game and I don't want to take it off the shelf anymore.
They do even have on the side of the box where things go.
Yep, that's beautiful. I love it. Do that more, please.
Except for the punch board stuff you're not supposed to punch.
Yeah, they could have put it on the bottom there too. Like, do not. Oh no, those are all the backer names, aren't they?
Yeah. I guess my name should be in there somewhere.
Yeah, we're probably right next to each other, I'm sure.
Maybe. Depends on how they put them in there.
Sure. Yeah, I'm with you, Derek. I usually, I open it up. I definitely am not looking through the rule book to see if there's a warning that says don't punch. I'm usually trying to get the punch board out of there and put it away. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know if it's an oversight or why. I mean, having it in the rule book is smart, but like Derek just said, like, how many people are first reading the rule book to see if they should punch everything? Because that's not kind of standard practice.
Well, if it wasn't in the rule book, it would make me think, oh, they didn't think about it until they were already packaging out the door.
Right.
But it's in the rule book. So at that point, they should have went, oh, we should also put this on the punch board.
Yeah. Or like you said, like an insert, like a pamphlet that says, warning, do not punch the top 3 cardboard things.
I mean, they already, there's some, like on top of here, it says, do not open right here. So they understand the concept.
Yeah.
Of telling you not to do certain things. They just didn't tell you that part.
Yeah. This is high on my list. I've been excited for this one since the campaign a few years ago, right? Like, I think this is at least 3 years out. I'm like legit. I'm not saying it to get that rant out of you. This legit was one of the games. Like, Castle Combo was the first one I wrote down. The next one I'm going to talk about was the next one I wrote down. And then there was Iridia was the next. Like, I thought of it.
I mean, it's sitting on my table downstairs. I will get into it soon. It's my number 1. But stuff.
Yeah, like, look at that right above the hashtag sign where that insert goes. Like, they thought ahead with that little finger notch to get the pieces out of there. Like, I like that thinking. Right? It's weird that they would go that way, but miss the fact that you're not supposed to punch those 3 things.
Michael.
Hey, Mike. Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah. It's I hope the rest of this production wise and play wise is totally smooth.
Right.
And in the end, these things go where they go, and I won't have a problem with it, right?
Yeah.
I just hate that little trip up at the beginning.
Yep. Yeah, we might talk about that on a future episode with the rundown, folks.
Yeah, maybe. All right, so that's your number 2. What's your number 1?
So my number 1 is the game that I don't own.
Ah.
But I got a picture from Richard, who's going to the convention this weekend, because I'm super excited to hang out with him again. I haven't seen him since before COVID. So 2018 was Batman. 2019, it came out in October. It missed Gen Con. It was out in October of 19, and then the world shut down in 2020. So I haven't seen Richard since 2019. And he sent me a pic. I'm like, all right, what do you want to play? Like, what do we have a prototype that we're working on that we need to play, but what else? Like, maybe there's something on his hotness that he wants to play that I can bring down. So he sent me a picture of what he's bringing, and he has Tales of Arthurian Knights, or of the Arthurian.
Ah, yeah, I saw that.
Yep. So I don't own it. And if you go back, I'm sure there are plenty of episodes where I kind of rant or bitch about Tales of Arabian Nights and how it's just disconnected. And we've talked about this too. Like, the Matrix is such a cool idea in that game, but it does not work in like theory, but in practice, it doesn't work. But with Tales of Myth and Legend coming out from Van Ryder, which will be, I think, next month on Game Found, next month or March. I'm curious, and we based Myth and Legend on our hatred for what Arabian Nights, not hatred, but our dissatisfaction of what Arabian Nights does. I'm curious what they did to that game, because this is based on that.
Right.
So I'm curious what they did to it. And I like Arthurian Legend. It seems like it had a little bit of a facelift. So we'll see. But I am very curious how they, like, what did they do to the Matrix? What did they do to the storytelling? How does it all connect, if it even connects? Are they still making you pick those 3 skills in the beginning that have nothing to do with your game for 3 hours while you're sitting there? So I'm really curious. I almost bought it, but I don't want to hate it. So I want to play it first and see, like, what did they do? Because I really did like the concept of Arabian Nights. Like, I like the lore. I like the storytelling. For those that don't know, Arkham Horror is still one of my favorites. And I love the way the game presents itself as a story, like a narrative, in somewhat of a gameplay experience. But I really am curious on how, not only with Arthurian Night, because that's a cool myth to live in, but what they did to the gameplay. So this is and I saw it in his picture, and this is one that we're going to play. I believe we're going to play it this weekend. So I should be able to report back on it next week.
That's cool. Yeah, I saw this sitting at a store in LA, and I almost picked it up.
Yep. And it's not as much as it's not as expensive as I thought it would be. I think it was an $80 ask. So that's cool. Considering, like, most games come out at $60 anyway. So they're asking for a little bit more. It's got a lot to it. So I'm genuinely curious, because I really did. I hope they did to it what it needed. Especially with, like, a modern reprinting of an older game, right? Like, there's a lot of stuff now that exists in game theory that wasn't around, or at least wasn't thought of as quickly as they did with Arabian Nights. So I'm curious what it's like, putting out a game now that has lose a turn. Like, you just don't do that anymore. So I'm curious what they did in the timeline from Arabian to Arthurian. What have they included or fixed or upgraded that makes the game maybe a little bit more connected in gameplay or in storytelling? So I am genuinely curious. I don't want to hate it, and I don't want to shit on it Monday, but I really do hope that they did something to make it just more fun for me.
Yeah. So come back Monday to hear Mike shit on it, or not.
I hope I don't.
The reason why I didn't pick it up is because it does look way too close, at least by the back of the box, to Arabian Nights.
Right.
And so I was like, I already have this, and I very rarely play it. I did play it, I think, for Christmas, actually.
Right.
And 6 people, and we were like, oh, let's play this so we could just hang around and talk and not. In fact, we ended up playing with 7 people. We just grabbed some other figure and yeah.
Already house ruled it out of the box. That's great.
There's no reason why you can't, other than just time.
Right.
Hey, and I don't know if I've ever played. I don't know if I've ever played Arabian Nights to its conclusion.
Never have.
Yeah.
Never have.
You're always like, who's closest? It's been hours. Are we done?
Yeah. Yep. I mean,
we'll see.
It's a weird experience, and I like the people like kind of like with you and Talisman, like you play it just to be doing something around the table while you can still have side conversations with your friends. Like that's weird to me, because then it's like, well, why aren't you just on your phone? Like those games that take you out of the game aren't really, they're just not fun. And I mean, the bones of it. I just want it to be more.
Yeah. I mean, it's an activity, really. You get to hang out with your friends around and do something stupid. Yeah. It's like, it's like playing cards or something. It's not a brain burner or anything, but yeah.
Sure. But like our love for games, like there needs to be more in that game that makes it a game. It's just, you go somewhere, you read a story that's not connected to anything. You don't have a chart that you're like improving on or growing on or anything. So I'm genuinely curious to see what the fuck they did with this one. And I hope that they kind of, gave it a more modern facelift.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see.
You too, Andrew.
I'm interested in seeing what you say.
Yeah. I mean, he's bringing it, so I'm hopeful that we'll play it. So we'll see.
Nice. My number 1, I already told you, is Iridia. So we've already talked about that and all that. So I know you have 2 others as well, and we can talk about those, but I'm not going to change my order. So,
well, no, because then really your number 6 is your number 1, and you like to order yours in some reason.
Right. So we could talk about honorable mentions afterwards.
Sure. Go ahead. Why don't you lead?
Yeah, I'll take off my number 1 here. We were talking about Iridia. So my honorable mentions, 1 is Creature Caravan. I know it's been out for a little while.
I almost wrote that down. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
It's not on my list, but it's kind of obvious, right? I love Ryan Lockett. I love the worlds that he builds, and I just picked this up at PAX.
Yeah, so I have it. I backed it, and it's been sitting up there. It's like every time I'm like, oh, okay, this is the next one to do. Something exciting, new and shiny comes in the mail, that kind of thing. Yeah. It just bad timing of whenever it showed up at my door. But any Ryan Lockett game is going to get my attention, at least a little bit, depending on what's going on.
Yeah.
I love the worlds that he's built. Interesting stuff, and he does an interesting mix of Euro and Ameritrash, or whatever you want to call it, American kind of aesthetics and design, which is unique to him in a way, the way that he does it. So, I'm always happy to try out the new stuff.
Yeah, I talked to him on at PAX, and I asked him specifically about the game Rome, ROAM. I don't know if you ever played it. I love it. Oh.
I have it, but I haven't played it.
Oh, Chris, get it? Like, move that up on this list specifically. That game,
move it up front.
It's so good. It's got that Ryan. So the idea is there's this curse of the land, and the villagers are roaming the land, and we need to go out and find them. And they're on these 3x3 cards. It's a card that's split up in a 3x2, and you're influencing it to try and get the card, and you flip them over, and they become the villager that you just found roaming the land. The game's great. It's a smaller box game, but it packs a punch. It's one of my I love Above and Below, but Rome was just it's so good.
Wow, this is surprising.
Go get Rome and play it. Rome is great.
The I would recommend out of all of them would probably be Islebound.
Islebound's good, but those, like, if you haven't played a Lockett game, like, those games can kind of be a little bit daunting because there's a lot in that box. There's a lot of stuff you got to go through. Once you get it, you get it. Like, the system of it is easy.
Not for Islebound, but
they're so good. The world he builds. I mean, he's amazing, and he's such a sweetheart of a person.
Near and Far is probably the best of the story ones. Oh no, Sleeping Gods is the best of the story.
Sleeping Gods. I still have to.
Sleeping Gods. You haven't played that one? Mm-hmm. Sleeping Gods is the best story game I've played yet. The kind that has a book that has stories.
Yeah.
Until new ones come out. It's the best one I've played yet, and it's cooperative. And you know how I am about cooperatives, but yeah.
There you go.
I haven't done Distant Skies yet. I have it, but
yeah, it's right there. I almost put it on the list.
I watched a documentary. There was a documentary with him, right?
I don't remember that.
I never did see it.
That's cool.
Yeah. So Creature Caravan, and also I'll just mention this one real quick. We talked about it, but you've already played it, but Fromage is still sitting on my table to learn.
Get this one to the table, man. This is good. I'm gonna play the hell out of this game this year.
And I've already watched like how to play it. The cheese and it points to you, so it comes back to you and all that stuff. I'm like, okay, I get it. I just need to get into it, right?
Yep. That's so good. I really like that concept with the workers, because there's that choice of, do I do an easy one and get it back next turn, or can I afford to let it go 2 or 3 turns before I get it back? And then coupled into that is the soft cheese, hard cheese, and blue cheese. Like, can I afford to lose the blue cheese for 2 rounds because the wedge that's coming to me, I'm going to need to put the blue cheese guy there. So like, it's such a great choice.
Yeah. I hear nothing but good stuff for it. So I gotta.
Good.
The draft at the start is very important. That's good. I like to hear that.
But the draft you don't have to do. You can play with the board and just play with what's pre-printed on the board. And then as you play and you want to increase it, you can there's these tiles that you can draft. And then
we'll play with the draft right away.
It definitely changes things.
We're those people. We're like, what starter game?
This is a great one. This one's really well done. R2I, I think they're going to be at Gathering this year. I think.
Oh, yeah, that's
the company that does Fromage. Oh, that's the documentary.
That's the documentary. Yeah. Fromage is great.
Dave, why didn't you let me buy that copy for the QSCon library and get yourself the upgrade?
Do it yourself rotation. I have to. What is going on?
The Kickstarter came with a mat and this little raised thing so you can turn the wheel easier, and it had upgraded bits. And he got himself the retail edition, which doesn't have it. So,
well, I get the Kickstarter deluxe version, so I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, Dave's copy. He feels like Dave's copy. The copy that he has, he feels like it's like, adopted. He doesn't like it.
Question for you there.
It's September. It's in September, mid-September.
But yeah, Fromage. I mean, based off of your reaction and everybody else's that's been doing it, you gotta do it. Rubbing it. Yeah, that's what this whole channel is. It's me rubbing in games I have, right? So.
Yep.
But yeah, those are my honorable mentions. I know you got some others. What do you got?
I got 2. The Mandalorian Adventures. I want to play that. That's another one that Richard's bringing that I'm hoping to get to the table.
It is surprising we haven't talked about this yet.
Yeah, because I haven't played it. Like I want to like it, and I mean, talk about pedigree. Like it's got good power behind it. I need to get it to the table. It's a shame I haven't yet.
Yeah, and it's a book style.
Yep.
Thing going on too. Yeah.
Yep.
That's interesting.
I like it. I mean, it looks like it's all Mandalorian season 1, so that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. But the question is can you kill someone with a tavern door?
Probably not.
Because if I can't chop someone in half with a tavern door, what are we even doing here?
Yeah, I would assume that's probably not an option in the game. Although you're IG-11, so you could gun down some people, but I don't know. I mean, it's got that movie, like the clip art from the series. So like a lot of people don't like the realistic. I think it looked like they were all clips from the movie. They didn't look like art.
No, I think this is artwork.
Is it art?
Yeah, this is all artwork.
Oh, that's amazing then. That's cool.
Yeah, just like they do with this is Fantasy Flight, right?
Yeah. No, I don't think it is.
What? Is it not? Oh, it's not.
Yeah.
Unexpected.
Yeah, no.
Well, I was just about to say, just like they do with the Fantasy Flight series, where they make the art look really good. It looks like the same artist.
The LCG.
Or art style, at least.
Yeah. So that one, Fellowship of the Ring Trick Takers, really good. I played the first scenario, I guess, of it, but I like it. I like the concept of it so far. And there's unlockables as you play. Mandalorian Adventures is on my list for sure. That one has to happen. And then the other one is a little bit of a cheat because I played it, but I played it digitally, and now I have the Kickstarter delivered, so I want to play it in person. Is Garden Geckos. Garden Geckos I played digitally.
Did you play this with
West?
West, yeah.
But I didn't play. It's not digital that I played it. I played it where he had the prototype of it, and we played like on our stream.
Oh, okay.
Right. So I didn't physically play it, but this game has like.
Oh
yeah. It's the way that the tiles are matching, and you got to place them, and the objectives you're trying to get based on what you're placing down is really cool. The insects that are going in the center and how you're getting them as resources is also really neat. But I think the puzzle in this one is that you only have 5 geckos that you get to play with. And when you place down a tile, if you don't have a gecko in the supply, you have to pull a gecko from the board. So you have to weigh out which ones aren't scoring for you anymore, or which terrain you're abandoning because this one's better. I loved that concept, but I don't think I enjoyed it as much as I will because I wasn't playing it in person. Like I was playing it on a stream where he was controlling all the shit, and I just want to have it in front of me because I really like the way that the puzzle works. And yes, if you look, that does look like Bob from Board Game Rundown on the cover. But yeah, this one, the production value looks great. That choice of what geckos to pull from the map when you're playing, it's a really cool puzzle feature that I hadn't seen in another game that I played. Like the laying the tiles and the terrain matching and how you're getting resources out of it is something that I've seen in other games. But this one with that strangle of only having 5 geckos, and when you place, you need to pull one from somewhere else. So either you've already scored from whatever you're pulling, or you need to abandon it because I'm not going to get it anyway. Or somebody else pulled the public objective card that you're trying to get. So you're like, all right, well then I don't need this gecko anymore. Like it seemed like really cool push and pull in this game. So
I think I came into the middle of one of your episodes where you were playing this, and I was like, I have no idea what you guys are doing.
So yeah, it's on my list, but technically cool. I played it. I want to get the physical copy to the table soon. So,
and it's already out of physical copy.
The Kickstarter delivered. I don't know if it's available like retail.
10 Robot Games is the publisher. It looks like.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's my list.
Fun list.
Yeah, that was a good list, I think.
Should we turn that off now? Actually, yeah. There's a lot of great games that already like this. Last week when Tuesday hit, I was like, "Ooh, I should look at Kickstarter," and I got busy because I was in LA and stuff. And I usually I go Tuesday or Wednesday and kind of look, okay, what's out there and stuff like that. But I missed it one whole week, and I know like a few other things have popped up, and I'm feeling like I'm out of it right now as far as like what's being available. Yeah. And I don't know. It's like I almost feel like, do I need to get more games? I have all these games that I can't wait to play. I don't need more games I can't wait to play. So I just need to find a time to like knock it all out.
Well, I'll throw this out there. In reaching out to people to come on the show, I reached out to Helena from KTBG in Burnt Island. And I said, hey, when do you want to come on the show? Like, what do you got going on this year? Maybe we can strategize. And she said that there will be 3 crowdfunding campaigns for them this year.
Jeez.
Right. So 3 new ones coming from a company that just immediately I back. So
yeah,
there's a lot, like Derek said, there's a lot coming out this year. And it just keeps, I know there's this shift and people feel like there's oversaturation and companies aren't making it through and whatever. But there just seems to be like the quality of the stuff that's coming out just consistently is moving forward, like amazingly. So,
yeah, I mean, it gets to the point. I mean, it's already at this point where some great games are just going to pass me by, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a content provider as far as like. I mean, I guess I am, but I'm not a reviewer, right? So that's not our shtick. We're not reviewing 5 or 6 games a week or 10 or whatever it is. So we don't get these handed to us. We don't. We just have to run into them with friends and stuff. So.
Yep. And I mean, we are lucky enough that we go to conventions where we get to play these with
we're
either the people that made them or people that know the people that made them. So
yeah, I mean, we're in very lucky position. So most people who aren't in the industry or anything like that, how many of these games are they going to get to play? It's crazy. And I can't even complain because I'm happy about the industry exploding and being awesome and having all these great games. So it's a good thing to complain about, right?
And I agree with Eric, not only for the reasons of him and Kibi folks games that we've signed, but there's a game coming from this gentleman over here that I can't wait to show everybody. We played it on the show before, but as things
are you supposed to be pointing at me because you pointed the other way?
I'm pointing to you. God, my thing's flipped. It's so stupid. On the screen, I'm pointing to you right now.
No, you're not.
This guy.
I was like, wait, who else is here? You mean the comments? I don't. Yeah.
It's flipped on the screen. Whatever. There's a game coming from Chris that we can't talk about. There's a couple coming from Eric and Nick and the Kibi folk. Alicia, we got something from her. So there's a lot of stuff personally that's coming out. Like I've got Tales of Myth and Legend. I've got something else I'm working on with Richard. We've got Canvas Critters, which is coming soon from 3WS. And what's the Vast Grim stuff with Daryl and Adrian. So like personally, there's stuff coming. Then there's the stuff that I'm working on with the company that's coming. And then there's stuff coming from friends that like, it seems I'm definitely this year is going to be hype, but there's so much stuff coming and it just keeps getting better.
Yeah. Yeah. We're just going to have to agree to miss some stuff. That's what it comes down to. It's like it's just going to be awesome games that pass me by. That's
kind of where these lists become helpful too, right? Because you see different stuff. We do overlap, but you see different stuff than I see. And when we get to one of these lists, it's like, oh, I've never heard of that game before. And then we kind of like that's where, and then the chat goes off on stuff that's coming and stuff they've played, and that's the best part about it. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff about it, but that helps.
Luca Fox, the Loaf Cat was designing a game this year. Yeah,
these two are going to work together. It's going to be a straight orange game.
Hey, that's taken.
It's not straight orange. Yours is orange and blue.
Yeah, the blue is the background.
Same here. The blue is the background.
All right. Anything we want to talk about for the next week? We know we're going to listen to you rant about Arthurian legends.
It might happen.
We'll see. Or rant about how good it is. We'll see how that is.
I hope I rant about how adequate it
is. Guess next week? No,
next week starts season 5, year 5.
That's weird.
Amazing journey.
It's weird.
Yeah.
More seasons than Star Trek Enterprise.
Yeah, it's so wild. So I guess, I mean, this is technically, I mean, because of dates and the last Monday of January, 4 years ago, was our first episode of the show. So the last Monday of January this year will be the first episode of year
Right.
5, beginning year 5. So this
Yep.
episode kind of wraps up 4 years of doing this crazy bit.
And apparently we got more in us, so we'll see.
It's I mean, for you, we've talked about this too, but like it's been 4 years, which is like what? But it feels in the same way it feels like we just started this. I feel like I've known you forever.
Yeah.
Like it's a weird, like we just started this thing, but it feels like it's been going, like I've known you for way longer than 4 years.
Yeah, that's because I can be tiresome.
Oh, yes, that. Also.
Yeah.
But like 2 years ago was the first time we met in person. Was it 2 years ago?
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
It was at Gen Con, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy.
Yeah. 2.5 years. Yeah. Yeah, and I told you this before the show started. I just wanted to read what it was again. Let me pull it up real quick because it was.
Oh my God! Yeah.
It was the description of our episode 1, and I thought it was hilarious. I'm the one that wrote it, so of course I thought it was hilarious. Right?
Of course you do. It is hilarious. I think it's funny.
But I want to read the description of our first episode was DC versus Marvel. Movies, shows, all that stuff, right?
Yep,
and we might need to revisit that again. But I just like the first sentence of the description. It says, Chris tries his best to destroy all that Mike loves.
And we hardly knew each other, right? Like we met over what was it, October, doing the QSCon thing during COVID. So you didn't really know me that well. And you were just like, yeah, I'm just going to wreck everything that he loves.
Yeah. Episode 1, I was like, we're in 100%. Let's do it.
That's great.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so 200 episodes, almost 200 episodes in, an unbelievable amount of hours spent doing this stuff, talking about everything from what we love in board games to what we hate in Star Trek. Like it's been 4 years of pretty cool shit, man.
Yeah, I mean, if we average 2.5 hours, probably 2 hours, 2.5 hours per episode, maybe.
First year was long.
First year we were hitting 4 hours almost every episode. That's true.
Yeah.
We've had a few that
good.
I don't know if we've ever had an episode that was below an hour. That I think we had one where like I showed up and we're like, oh, no episode this time and left or something like that, or maybe you did. Yeah. Those don't count, right? As far, I mean, whatever. But
I mean, they do.
But I mean, I don't think we've really. We can't talk for short amounts of time, apparently.
Well, that's also, if you think about it, that's only 200 episodes of the full 42 show, the Monday show. Thank you, man. That doesn't include the Scry-Fi that you did with your brother and that I was on for a couple. Like,
right.
There's been a lot of stuff.
Or the stuff that you do with West.
Yeah. There's been a lot of stuff that we've done. I mean, this obviously being the front of it. And 200 episodes times 2.5 hours on average, like that's a lot of us talking about just shit.
I mean, 500 hours.
Yeah, it's nuts.
That's a lot.
That's nuts.
So anyway, if you're not bored with us after 500 hours, thanks for sticking around.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next week.
Yeah, the start of season 5.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody.